Hello, boys and girls, this is imanderZEL, of course, and welcome to some more Counter-Strike Go. Got a nice match here on Inferno, starting out as terrorists, actually, and then going on to playing as counter-terrorists, of course. This is not live commentary, as you might have already realized, since the edited speed-up part there in the middle, and the video also being about 11 minutes long. I'm gonna kind of try to answer a couple of the questions you guys have been asking a lot lately that has to do with Counter-Strike Go. I mean, like, the thing is that I am not very good at Counter-Strike Go. I mean, I am just barely a little bit better than average. It's not like a Battlefield where I'm basically like in the bigger parts or of the top, so to say, or like the more than average players, so to say. But here, I hope I can give you some good tips, and I'll at least answer the questions you guys have been asking. And one of the first questions, or one of the questions you guys have been asking a lot, especially the Counter-Strike veterans, is what kind of configuration do you have, Anders? What kind of CFG do you have? And I actually don't really have any config, and to be honest, I have not changed anything more than really the crosshairs and the controls. And the controls I'm using is actually the arrow keys, believe it or not, and the numpad keys and enter and the left control and left shift. So yeah, I'm a little bit strange, but I can go over some basic stuff. Like I changed the sights. I also changed, so for example, when I press down my mouse wheel, I get the HE grenade selected. When I press my forward, or when I press my mouse button, I think number 3, I get the flashbang, and when I press mouse button number 4, I get the knife out. And when I scroll the wheel up and down, I switch between weapons. I switch between pistol and primary weapon. That's basically the things I've changed. And I got just some normal, like, use on enter, jump on left shift, duck on left control, and those kind of things. So there's nothing special I've done. And you might be asking yourself, why the fuck, Anders, do you play with the arrow keys? To be honest, I don't really know. It kind of just started that way. Counter-Strike is the only FPS game I ever used the arrow keys with. And I would say it's mostly due to and thanks to my uncle, Michael, actually. And he's also the guy you guys should thank for actually being able to see my videos. And I'm very thankful again for him showing me the world of video games, because I was kind of like a sports guy before before he kind of showed me video games and shit like that. I was kind of a football and hockey guy, but when he kind of showed me that fucking hell, like, you can have a lot of fun with video games, I kind of put the sports to the side. And I was always kind of a fat guy anyways and never really good at sports, so like it really helped me with my self-esteem and stuff like that, being able to play computer games as a kid. It definitely made life a lot easier and a lot better. Loved it. And he was also the guy that gave me my first porno movie. VHS tape with my first ever porno movie. I think I was like 14 maybe when he gave it to me. He's awesome. Anyways, another question that you guys have been asking a lot is, what kind of sensitivity are you playing with, Anders? In-game, in Counter-Strike Go, I play with 0.28 sensitivity. But the thing is that my mouse has, of course, different settings than your mouse, and I also have different settings in my Windows, so that doesn't really mean much for you guys unless if you have the exact same setting in Windows and the exact same mouse with the exact same DPI on. So that it's kind of problematic when it comes to that, to actually tell you guys exactly how much sense I have so you guys can replicate it. But my mouse mat is about 35 centimeters wide. I think that's about maybe 15 inches or something like that. And if I put my mouse furthest to the left and drag it furthest to the right, I do about 180, or maybe a little bit more. I don't do a full 360, so I got a pretty low sensitivity. And I think you can tell it when I'm playing that I kind of move my mouse in not swooping motions, but kind of like I move a little bit and then I move a little bit again. So it at least myself, and I think most professionals will tell you that a low sensitivity is always the best way to go, and yeah, that's at least what I would recommend. Again, like, I'm no professional guy, but I'm pretty sure most professionals recommend that kind of stuff as well, because it makes it easier to get those headshots and get those nice kills, simply. Another question you guys have been asking a lot is, what kind of rank do you have, Anders? I am a distinguished Master Guardian. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 different ranks, and I'm basically, what the fuck is that? 12, 13, 14, I'm 14 out of 18, so I'm basically like 5 away from the top, or 4 away from the top, depending on kind of how you look at it. So I'm definitely not just like in the middle, but I'm still not much more than average. It's not much, at least. Trust me on this one, because when I've gone up against like the professionals of Battlefield, and they are not much better than me, like the ones who call themselves professional, but the ones who are professionals in Counter-Strike Go, they poop on me. They laugh and they say like, "Heh, Viking, I don't think so. You're my bitch," and then they shoot you one shot in the head and you're dead like every single round. They are really, really good. Played against Spawn once, actually, a Swedish Counter-Strike professional, and I mean, it was ridiculous. He killed my entire team, one shot as always with the Deagle. On this very map, actually, not in Counter-Strike Go, but in 1.6. It was part of a promotion for a website, and I was one of the users on that website that got the privilege to play against him, and it was just ridiculous. He has guarded one bomb site by himself, and the entire rest of the team guarded the other bomb site, basically. It was funny shit. Another question is recoil management. How do you recoil? What do you do, Anders, to manage your recoil? The recoil management is a lot harder in Counter-Strike compared to Battlefield or Call of Duty, so you need to train a lot more. The best tip I would give you is actually play against bots or play team deathmatch, so you get to shoot a lot at a lot of different enemies, and also just sit down like when you're playing against bots, or maybe in a match like in Spawn, and just spray against the wall and kind of learn how the recoil goes. But a good general rule is to shoot 1, 2, or 3 bullets and aim towards the head of the enemy, or the upper chest of the enemy, and that is usually going to give you a really good result. But if the enemy is closer than 10 meters, I would almost always recommend you go full auto, simply because it's a greater chance of you killing him, because most of the time you kind of panic anyways, and it's kind of hard to aim, at least for me, because I'm not a super good player, so to say. Another question, favorite weapons. My favorite weapons in the games, I would say, is the AK-47. Definitely, that's my favorite weapon right now, because that's the weapon I know the best. Then maybe the M4A4, and then maybe the FAMAS or something like that. I'm not a big fan of the Gali. I'm trying to learn the Gali. I do like the shotguns as well. Simply because the shotguns do a massive amount of damage at close range, and they give you fucking 900 bucks to shop for if you kill someone with them. So if you get like 2 or 3 kills a round with the shotgun, I mean, you're gonna have a lot of cash the next round, even if you die, and even if your team loses. But if you get 2 or 3 kills with the shotgun, your team usually wins. That's the good thing. And kind of funny that the shotgun is actually on the screen right now. And another thing is, like, just a general tip for you guys, is the sound. The sound is so important in Counter-Strike. You might think like, oh, sound is a little bit important in Call of Duty, or quite important in Call of Duty, and decently important in Battlefield, because in Battlefield it's really hard to hear footsteps most of the time. But it is extremely important in Counter-Strike Go and all the other Counter-Strike games. It is so important to listen for the enemy reloading, the enemy throwing grenades, the enemy doing all kinds of various things. I mean, like, it is so important to hear their footsteps. I mean, you're gonna, it's basically like wall hack almost. I mean, but of course you're allowed, because sound is an intricate and important part of the game. So I definitely recommend buying a pair of good headphones, or just some cheap earplugs, because you don't have to have super good headphones to hear sounds. Sure, they usually help a bit if you have like really expensive ones, but really for them to help that much, you need to be extremely good, to be honest, and usually it doesn't do that much of a difference. I mean, my headphones I think cost like $20 or something like that, and I mean they do work great. I mean, they're nothing special, they just work simply. Have a crappy ass built-in mic as well. Oh my lord, even worse than like the worst mic I've ever had before, but the sound in them are totally okay, so it worked good. And that's about it, I think. I don't think I have any more tips and tricks right now. I might do another kind of these videos in the future if you guys have more questions about different stuff, and try to add in as many of the questions as possible. But of course my team won. I'm always a douchebag when it comes to that. Like I don't upload videos where my team or loses and I do badly, simply because it just makes me look bad. Just remember that what you see on my channel is a selection of the best moments. It's not what happens every time I play, because I see a lot of you guys thinking that. It's very nice of you to think that I'm some kind of pro, but I'm definitely not, especially on Counter-Strike. But anyways, as usual, thank you guys for watching, have a wonderful day, bye bye.